We got the new cover for College Football 26 from EA Sports out for ours to have and to hold. We'll have a full reveal, I believe, this upcoming Thursday. But whenever we get a little bit of something to chew on here when it comes to the covers, I think it's fair for us to take a closer look and ask the question, are there any Easter eggs to be had here? Now, this is not me operating off of intel. This is not me operating off of any concrete facts we have. This is purely taking a closer look and saying, is there something else there? So the Deluxe Edition cover of this game, one, it's phenomenal, but two, let's take a quick look at this here and just take a quick glance at what we're working with. A lot of schools represented. We mentioned that. EA, my first Easter egg was going to be we got coaches in the game. They've already confirmed that. So you see Kirby Smart, you see James Franklin, Ryan Day, Dan Lennon. There's a lot of coaches here. So previously didn't have coaches, going to have coaches. That's already been verified. Now you look at the rest of this cover though. Couple of college football players that I would go ahead and call legends: Reggie Bush, Tim Tebow, Denard Robinson. Those are the three that I spotted. Don't know if I'm missing any, but it doesn't look like I am. Now, why would they be at a photo shoot in the Rose Bowl for a game that they're not going to be in? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I think it's fair to ask the question, do we see some all-time teams? Do we see a Legends mode? Do you get to play Road to Glory with Tim Tebow or Denard Robinson or somebody else? I think that could be in the game. Again, no intel, but I think based on this cover, EA could be very, very quietly saying, hey, check this out. Hey, we got Tim Tebow on the cover. Why is that? A la Brian Windhorst. So that's the first Easter egg that jumped out outside of the coaches. Other thing to take note of, when you look at the cover, there's three legends. I counted 4 mascots. Now, if you have played the college football video games, you know Mascot Mashup is an absolute experience in and of itself. You're playing with 11 on 11, your mascots versus their mascots. Instead of jukes, you're doing like side flips. It's a wonderful experience. It's unique, it's wacky, it's weird, but it's very specific to the college football video games. Now, they could just have the mascots on there because they look cool and aesthetically pleasing. But, I mean, if you're going to have 4 mascots on there, why not just have 1? Why not have 2? If you're going to have 4 mascots on there, my question is, are you trying to tell me something, EA? And if you are, say it clearly so I can hear it. Say it with your chest. Don't tease me with the Clemson Tiger and the Duck. And don't tease me. Just say it. We're going to have Mascot Mashup. Hoping that gets revealed in the trailer. If it's not, so be it. But I'm not so sure that's not an Easter egg. Now, this is more of a more subtle Easter egg that I think could be dropped by the folks at EA. You'll notice in that cover, a lot of fans in the background. Okay, so you got the players in the front, the coaches in the front, a lot of fans in the back of that video game cover for the Deluxe Edition of College Football 26. Again, could be an aesthetic thing, but there's a tweet out there from EA when they released the covers and said, quote, powerhouse programs, real-world coaches, electric traditions. Okay, now we already verified there's going to be coaches, so that's in there from the real-world coaches part of this tweet. Powerhouse program speaks for itself, but electric traditions. Is it a thing where maybe the home field advantage is turned up a little bit here in this game? Is it a thing now more specifically maybe where what we just said about electric traditions, is there more traditions in this game that weren't in the last game? Remember now, EA, I believe, has some sort of partnership with Metallica. This, to me, is just telegraphing Enter Sandman going to be in the game. The Virginia Tech entrance. I feel like that's pretty much all but confirmed. What else is there? Is there something else with the fans baking into this whole game? I don't know. So there's a couple Easter eggs there. Got a couple more I want to unpack. But before we do that, let's make sure we bring on the man on the ones and twos, the man who makes this whole show go. Legal name is Caden Smith. We call him Cato. Cato, it's a wonderful thing to have the covers for us to just analyze to the nth degree, man. Any Easter eggs that jumped out at you when you unpack this Deluxe Edition, or anything that, as we go through these Easter eggs that I'm unpacking myself, that you want to maybe speak to a little bit more?
Yeah, JD, I think the most exciting thing is the addition of the former players on the cover. I think that's something we talked about a lot in the offseason when we saw the Deluxe leak of the cover. We saw Tim Tebow in the fold. We saw Reggie Bush. My question is, how involved will they be? You can bring up some former players in kind of the ultimate team mode, but that mode's not very popular. I think our dream scenario is that there's some version of all-time teams that can be put in the game. If we can get, say, if you won a national championship, if you're a national championship team, if your team is in the game and you can put those eras just against each other, see current national champions versus past national champions, I think that'd be great. But I think a step further, a level up from all of this would be if they had actual just all-time rosters where they took all of the best players from a team's history and made them into one team. I know with NBA 2K, that was one of my favorite modes back in the day, is playing as with all the greatest players in the Celtics versus all the greatest players in the Lakers. I think doing a college football version of that where you have Vince Young handing off to Bijan Robinson, you have Joe Burrow throwing it up to Odell Beckham. Like, I think that would just be an awesome feature too. So I think more than anything, I'd be most curious to see how these legends are going to be in the game. Maybe it's like, even to bring up 2K again, kind of like an interactive mode where you have your career, your road to glory, and you have Reggie Bush pull you aside and give you some advice, and you get some points for that, something like that. I'm just curious to see how these players will be involved, because you imagine they wouldn't just put them on the cover just to put them on there. They will have some say in the game and have some skin in the game there. Especially
from Tim Tebow. Like, I'm assuming he lives in Florida. I don't know that to be the case, but if we're bringing him all the way out to the Rose Bowl, give him a cross-country flight, I'm taking time out of my life to go do a photo shoot for a video game that I'm not going to be in. Doesn't check out to me, dude. I'm not seeing it. I don't see it. It doesn't make any sense. Now, this is a little bit more in the weeds, but I want to get your take here. I'm looking at a couple of players on the cover in the deluxe edition, and it makes me think about them being on the cover relative to what their overalls could be. Jeremiah Smith is on the default version of the cover, on the deluxe edition of the cover. I don't see a world where his overall is less than 95. I've been beating the drum for a while now. Give my guy 100 overall. Now, is that likely? Probably not, but with the way that he performed last year as a true freshman and the hype around the game and having him on the cover as a teenager, as a true sophomore, I would love to see EA make him 100 overall. I don't know if it's likely, but again, I would love that. That's my take, and that's my Easter egg. I think Jeremiah Smith is probably the best receiver in the game, if not the best player in the game.
Yeah, I think he'll be the best player in the game. And I think the fact that him and Ryan Williams are on the cover and there's no quarterbacks on the cover just says a lot about where we are with college football. I think putting some of the Garrett Nussmeyers and the Drew Allers and the Cade Klubniks, who are proven as the main cover athletes, I think there's a little bit of curse potential there. Maybe we saw Quinn Ewers on the cover last year and he didn't necessarily, I think, have the individual season he would have wanted. And then crowning a guy like a DJ Lagway or an Arch Manning, or we see a Bryce Underwood who hasn't even taken a single college snap yet on the cover too. It might feel too soon for some of those guys as well. So I think it says a lot about the college football season we have coming up as far as the quarterback position and where it stands. And I think these two young receivers, I mean, who's to say these guys couldn't be on the cover again next year? I think aside from them being quarterbacks, I think it's really interesting that these are guys that do have to play 2 more years of college football regardless. So how high will their rating be this year? How much higher will it be the next year? I think that's going to be something to watch too.
Dude, no Texas on the front of the game. I know it's been kind of something I've been hot on, but I'm just saying, no Arch Manning on the cover, no Sark on the cover. Sounds like they're doing other things. Bryce Underwood being on the cover, I'm a fan of it because I like this encompasses a lot of different classes and a lot of different teams. I wonder how good they make him, though, because if you're putting a true freshman quarterback on the cover of a college football game, like you said, before he even plays a snap, you can't roll him out there and have him be the average true freshman rating of like 80 overall. He's got to be probably, I would guess he's 85-ish, if not higher than that. I know they do a lot when it comes to like scouting these guys at fall camp, and I would imagine spring practice in and of itself as well. I'm very curious to see what they do with Bryce Underwood. I think they got to put him a touch higher than the average freshman, if for no other reason, the fact they got him on the cover of the video game.
Yeah, and I think you can go very traits-based with that. Like, you can give him freakish speed, freakish strength. You can kind of bridge the gap there, I think, with some of his intangibles he has and just his raw athleticism to where you can make his rating very high. I saw this as a comment on one of our previous videos when this officially came out and we saw the covers. Have no problem with the cover at all. How cool would it have been, though, to have a Jeremiah just cover of the game with a Jeremiah Love and a Jeremiah Smith, two guys that were playing in the national championship game? I think that would have been a cool addition as well. And I'm curious to see where a guy like that might be rated as well. He has the potential maybe to be the best running back in the game. And I think even with the portal and stuff and just the changing of scenery and some of the stuff we saw from last season, like, where do you rate a Carson Beck compared to last year?
Yeah.
Off an injury, in a new place. Obviously didn't have the season he did the year before. I think the ratings in general are going to be something to look forward to see how high a Jeremiah Smith is, how high a Ryan Williams is in the game, but also maybe where do guys change based on last year? Who goes up, who down compared to what they were a season before? I think that's going to be an exciting thing to watch too.
I think Jeremiah Smith has got to be 99, if not 100. I think Lenora Sellers has got to be probably in the 90s. Now, I'm a Lenora Sellers guy. I've said that a lot on this show. I wonder where he is relative to like a Garrett Nussmeier or some other quarterbacks in this game. Jeremiah Love, to me, if it's not Jeremiah Smith as the best player in the game, and I'd be wildly surprised if that wasn't the case, Jeremiah Love, probably like a 97 plus if I'm throwing out ratings right now. I think he's that good, what he does out of the backfield, what he does getting between the tackles, the speed, all the, like, my guy's got a flu game going for 98 yards against Indiana on a bum knee. Like, the dude's different now. Very, very different.
Yeah, if I had to guess the top guys in the game this year, I think it's going to be Jeremiah Smith. I think Dylan Stewart's going to be up there.
Oh, freakish, yeah.
And I think Caleb Downs are going to be up there. Like, if I had to guess, these are going to be the three guys that have the best ratings in the game. That'd be my top three for sure. But you mentioned the mascot mode before. If we do get, in fact, the mode where you can play with your whole team as the mascot, who are you most looking forward to playing with? I know I have a couple favorites. I know Otto the Orange back in the day was one of my favorites, having just 11 oranges out there just ready to get after it. Who are your favorites? Who are you most looking forward to?
Dude, I'm going to throw you a curveball here. I'm going to go with Bucky Badger.
Great. No, that's not a
Bucky
curveball.
Badger is my guy.
I think he's underrated. Dude. I think that's an underrated mascot.
Jump around a little bit, you know. I mean, I'm
in the stripes.
Red dude. I think he's one of the swaggiest mascots in the whole game. Him and the Spartan from Michigan State are probably my two. And maybe the Spartan from Michigan State to me is a nostalgia thing because I played college football 07, 09, whatever the one they had on the Wii was. He was on the cover, bro. So I'm rocking with the Spartan as well.
See, I'm off of that. Like him, the Fighting Irish. Like if your mascot looks like a human, I'm not playing with you in that mode because I feel like that defeats the purpose of it. Like I'm trying to see an alligator. I'm trying to see a tiger. I'm trying to see animals that have not played football, won't play football, play. I think Bucky the Badger's a great pick for that. I think Puddles has a ton of personality. Yeah, it would be a great pick to see him get active. But that's just a fun mode. That's one that everyone can get behind, even the kids. Maybe bridge the gap with some of the younger generation. I mean, you have a young daughter, man. Yeah. Watching some violent hits across the middle might not be her jam right now, but watching some animals play some football.
Watching Bucky Badger run a punt back from 85 deep and just have the entire Camp Randall going off. Like, she can probably get behind that.
Teach her what a badger is. Teach her some animals with that. I think there's a lot to be learned there. I think there's a lot to be learned there for sure.
Do you have a mascot you're going with, Cato? I know you mentioned kind of like the parameters you're working with. Do you have a mascot that's like mascot matchups on the game? Here's my number one draft pick for my mascots.
Yeah, it's still Otto the Orange.
Good orange. Call. Yeah, good call.
Him paired with the dart mentality of Fran Brown, I think it's just a match made in heaven. I think the shape, the optics of it all, it just looks hilarious. I think an honorable mention though to Western Kentucky's mascot as well, the Big Red.
Ooh.
He's a great guy. He's one of the all-timers.
Guy.
He's a funny guy to just watch get around and run some trick plays with and high point some balls and hit some guys across the middle. I think he's a great pick as well. But I think other than the human like looking mascots, human guys, you can't really go wrong. In my book, personally, Smokey would be fun to watch too.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it's just so exciting that this game is coming out in a little bit over a month. I just can't wait to see what new features we get. And even if we don't get all the new features, I think the year-over-year changes in college football with the transfer portal and all that stuff just makes it to where every year the game is going to be more and more exciting. And it really gives you, I think you can call it work and like scouting, but it's like we will see some players play for the first time in new uniforms before they even get to play. We'll get a pulse somewhat of what Joey Aguilar is like playing for Tennessee, what John Mateer is like playing for Oklahoma before they even play their season. So I think that's another thing I'm personally looking forward to as well as, hey, let's get some of these week one matchups just dialed up on the game and just see what Notre Dame Miami looks like with two new quarterbacks and all the other matchups we have across the board that'll just have different faces in different places. So definitely pumped to say the least.
Get a little vibe for it. And also too, last thing I'll say, the fact that this is now back into the college football fans' calendar. Okay, we got the game dropping, then we have media days or some order of those two. That means that we are within striking distance of week 0, which means we got college game day back, big noon back, the game's back. Like college football season is basically officially here once we get the game back. So I'm all here for that. And Cato, I appreciate you jumping on, man, and making sense of all this. So just a couple of Easter eggs the boys got their eyes on, man. But again, make sure you are subscribed. We will have a reaction for you to Thursday's trailer that drops from College Football 26. All right, we appreciate y'all being dialed in. Appreciate y'all being subscribed. We love y'all. We'll keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.